All right. We're actually standing in the ballroom talking to Steven Crowder, comedian, conservative activist. Been an MC here at CPAC 2013. You had an unusual experience out in the lobby just now?
Yeah, I had a couple.
What do you think of CPAC this year?
Well, do you want me to discuss the experiences or
You
CPAC?
can discuss whatever you want. I want you to tell me what you think, the experience. If you think it was wrong, say so.
Well, listen, as far as the overall experience of CPAC, they've done a good job organizing things this year. Obviously, people complain about it being far away from downtown. What happened in the lobby, is the sound up?
Yeah.
Now it's up. What happened in the lobby, and what I have a problem with, is when people come up and they ask you, they either don't ask to interview you and they shove a camera in your face, or they ask to interview you and they're misleading. They pass themselves off as a conservative, and they're a liberal. Here's the thing, if someone says I'm a liberal, or if someone says I disagree with you on A, B, and C and I'd like to interview you, 9 times out of 10 I give them the interview, unless I'm pressed for time. What I have a problem with is someone being dishonest, and someone trying to misrepresent what you say. And that's what Andrew Breitbart had a problem with. Andrew Breitbart would be much happier, dealing with someone like Keith Olbermann or Rachel Maddow than a Walter Cronkite or a Dan Rather, who lies by omission. So that's what I had the problem with. I had a run where a guy put a camera into my face and asked me a question about a video where a doctor made an argument saying that the body is designed to metabolize alcohol in a way that it can't metabolize marijuana because of stored in fat. This doctor said in an interview of mine. He tried to ask me about the ins and outs of marijuana, medically speaking. I said, I'm not qualified to answer that. And they kept pressing to try and get an answer a different way.
Did you know who the guy was that was interviewing you?
I don't know him, no.
His name's Adam Kokesh.
Okay.
In case you didn't know.
Okay.
He's big with the libertarian.
Okay.
Okay.
Which is funny because I tend to be more libertarian.
Right. That's why I was kind of...
Well, the problem is these people want to smoke a lot of weed. And I said, I don't understand what could be more libertarian than saying it's a state issue. I wouldn't vote for it in my state. State government has that right. The state government has the right to provide education. We did that in this country for a long time, up until the 60s. State, municipal, local government is designed to be attentive to the needs of its people. And it can only do that if federal government is kept to a limited role. So I think a lot of libertarians don't really understand the fundamental role of government. People who would claim to be libertarians, certainly not people like Welch at Reason Magazine, some brilliant libertarians out there, but a lot of the young libertarian movement, they're just anti-government on every level, and I would disagree with them. I think there is a fundamental role of government, which is very limited, that is legitimate.
Steven, where do you think the conservative movement, especially when it comes to the youth?
I can't answer for every youth, or youths. There's my cousin Vinny, youths.
I actually said the youth for a reason.
Yeah.
In fact, give me 1 second. I'm going to put this back up here. I said the youth for a reason because everybody's talking about the young age group that's here this year. And you were just talking about the libertarian and the problem with some of the things that libertarians want to do. Al Cardenas started this off Thursday morning by saying libertarians and conservatives were going to have to find a way to come together.
Sure.
Or we were not going to win elections anytime soon. Then Alan West comes out and says being a conservative doesn't necessarily mean leaning and reaching or, So I'm just wondering because I've seen it. You've got a large group that are staunch conservative, that are young, that want to be the next Andrew Breitbart, that want to be the next, Sarah Palin,
Which, funnily enough, Andrew Breitbart was a libertarian, much more so than conservative. I think what it comes down to is, we can get into the minutiae of this, of which people said what on the platform, and I don't know exactly what Alan West said, but I'll take their word for it. I think the most important part is the messaging and the media narrative. If you were to take the power of Washington, D.C. over the power of Hollywood, I think you need a cat stand. It doesn't matter how great your ideas or your policies are if you're allowing the messaging to be controlled by someone else. In this case, the mainstream media, the entertainment industry, the Hollywood elite. And that is the... This made a standard flute joke. And in that case... oh no, Rascal Flatts non-stop here.
I know.
But so in that case, it's really about the messaging and it's a cultural battle, not a political one.
I'm going to ask you something. I posted a comment on your, I think it was on your YouTube or your Facebook page, or actually maybe it was your Twitter. You did an appearance on Justice with Judge Jeanine on Fox News Channel one Saturday night. and you were talking about honesty, integrity, and you mentioned Andrew, and you said the thing about Andrew Breitbart is he went out, he told the story, he stood his ground, and he stood on what he believed to be the truth, and as long as he believed it to be the truth, then he stood on it. What do you say about possibly some that say they want to be the next Andrew Breitbart, but they want to hold everybody else to one standard, but they don't necessarily want to apply the standard that Andrew did?
Right. Well, and I was just talking about this too. I don't care if you're right. I don't care if you're left. I don't care if you're civil. Just don't lie to me. That's what really bothers me, is the dishonesty. And that's what gets me getting perturbed in the lobby. When someone misrepresents something, I answer a question, and I can see them continually trying to get me to answer a question that I said I'm not going to answer. And it's because they have an angle that I'm not being forthcoming with. And Andrew hated that too.
Exactly.
As affable, as lovable as Andrew was, he would get mad at that. And I really hope and pray that I'm a good person, that I treat people well. But that's something that really bothers me. And I think people, the same thing, if they want that, they want to be the next Andrew, they need to be honest with themselves and with their audience. If you're going to interview somebody, you need to be honest about what you're discussing in the interview. If you're going to be writing a piece, you need to be an op-ed piece, sorry, you need to be honest about your own personal worldview and how you're living your life. You can't go out and tell people one thing and living in a different way. And that's what, and Andrew and I wouldn't have agreed on a lot of the moral stances that I took. But you knew where Andrew stood. And I really respected that about him.
Stephen, I hope that I haven't misrepresented myself to you from asking for this interview last night and getting with you today.
I appreciate it.
I actually appreciate you taking the time. And like you, I was with Andrew last February 9th at CPAC at Blog Bash before he passed away. And I agree with you. I think Andrew would be looking down on some and kind of like, going, what the hell's going on here? And others saying, yep.
Good job. Yeah.
Exactly, and I think you're one of the ones he'd be saying, good job.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks,
You're a
Steve.
sweetheart, man. I appreciate that.
Thank
That means
you.
a lot.